I acknowledge the First Nations peoples of this region and nation. I honour the people that came before me and the ones that will follow in our footsteps now and into the future. I, Marlene Jackamarra, as a stolen generation person, want to honour the forgotten Australians and the child migrants who came out as children, and some still carry the burden of what happened to them in these institutions. I embrace the children that never return to find their parents and families.
The battle to improve record keeping for care leavers has been a long one. Thankfully, there have been improvements in the way records are kept. Some of these developments have come about in response to recommendations of major national inquiries, such as the Bringing Them Home, Lost Innocents and Forgotten Australians reports. Others have developed in line with general reform to child protection and to children's services. Our work and the work of previous inquiries has put pressure on the institutions and governments to improve record keeping to better protect children in the future. We are aware that institutions and government agencies continue to improve systems and archives, and we do acknowledge ongoing problems such as fees and inconsistent laws and practices, as do they. We have also observed governments finding ways to consider how best to tackle a number of records they hold. We're aware of the ongoing efforts to use technology to digitalise records and improve access. It is our hope, and the hopes of very many others, that improvements to records and record-keeping governance will strengthen child-safe practices and better protect children from future harm. Importantly, it would help those searching for identity and those seeking justice for harm done.
The 8th statement describes how one person felt when finding records, and it reads, "When my records arrived, they were a mess, just a pile of papers in no particular order, and a lot of it was whited out. I had no idea why that information was taken out, but it was shattering to get records like this."
There was only a one-page record of my time in care at the age of 5, right through until I turned 21. One of the main things recorded was subsidy rates. No one explained to me what this meant, and I don't know whether my mother had been asked to pay for my upkeep or was it paid for by the welfare department. There were some records of my years of employment when I was sent to work 300 miles away at a farm in Mininu in 1960. But it is only a financial information such as payment of wages, which I didn't receive personally. Nothing recorded about my health or well-being. Also included in my records were 2 child migration documents. The first is a medical report written when I was only 3, recorded under my false name of Lucy, given to me at the National House in Belfast. The second document is the correct document under the name of Anne and was probably used for entering Australia. These records are full of errors, including my place of birth.
I want you all to feel a sense of outrage today. Be outraged, as I am, by what you hear from Ron and Anne, and from those who spent childhoods in out-of-home care and have nothing to show for it. No photos, no medical history, no school records, nothing. While we can't recreate documents that have been destroyed or weren't made in the first place, we can do everything possible to improve access to what still exists, and we can improve the experience of those seeking to find it. We can also make sure that what happened to the stolen generations, forgotten Australians and former child migrants doesn't happen to children and young people in care today.
Yokai! That is the Noongar war cry. I am outraged in what I hear today. Thank you, Philippa, for reminding how outraged we should be. Yokai is the Noongar war cry. Enough is enough. Yes. Healing our spirit is about healing our people who have been taken from culture, who can't speak their language, can't practice their culture.
So my mum died when I was 4 years old. I then lived with my auntie and uncle until I was about 14. At 14, I was given a choice by my auntie. You can come work with us today and you get to live with us. Or the second, don't. Pack your bags and leave. But I feel like when we ask for information, people go, oh, they're not ready for it. It's not time for them to know. We know when we're ready for it. We're asking when we are ready. And I feel like it would be amazing if everyone could take that into account. Thanks.
I wanted the answers, but I wanted them all at once. Everyone I had asked had a different answer on what the process was. It got so confusing and overwhelming. I've given up. After speaking with other young people who had gone through the process or who were attempting to get their files, they said they had similar experiences, but also very different in some aspects. Some people had to pay prices ranging from 20 cents a page to 50 cents, while others didn't pay anything. Some were told to cut questions out because it would not have been done in the 45-day turnover. One last thing is my favourite quote is, we all want to see change, but we might have to change within ourselves to see it.
The aim of the reform was to ensure that the child is at the centre of all case practice decisions. So the child is at the centre of a decision. The aim also is to strengthen the legislative framework to support the best outcomes for children, so to make sure we've got robust legislation that actually ensures that the children are at the centre of decisions.
I guess I really want to stress that I don't see them, I see them as actually interconnected. It's like to not see them as isolated. What happens in the historical justice space goes right back into the current record keeping space as well too. So to see them being part of a continuum, and the idea is that they're sort of links in a chain, and so they can only going to be as strong as the weakest links. So we need to work on getting all those elements working strong and also working together as well too. Particular one highlighted there, which was the endorse and implement the Commonwealth DSS access principles and guidelines. So to use that as the basis for this exercise, while it's, yes, that's right, that's what's on your table there. So to while it sits in the historical justice category, the gold arrows there are to sort of show the way that it actually flows through to those other areas as well too.
I think the important issue of harnessing participatory record keeping in some form or other, being understanding why you're keeping records and that they can be read by people you're writing about, seems to have eluded a lot of people over the past. It mustn't elude them any further. And we do need to harness technology. It was a great start to just look at the principles, but I have many questions about how to make them real. I really appreciated the comment that was made that they weren't developed through the eyes of a child, and I think that is absolutely crucial.
Clearly, care leavers' records are in a different category to other records held by state government, and FOI as it currently stands can't accommodate this difference. Perhaps FOI isn't the right framework for releasing these records, and perhaps the various FOI acts need to be changed. And perhaps WA can lead the way in achieving this.